file has been compiled and recorded by Dustin Cormier, a Scorpio born in the year of the Metal Ram, 1991, and in the hour of the Rat. The dog, traditionally called the zoo branch in the Orient. Born 1958, 1970, 1982, 1994, 2006, 2018, and 2030. The direction appointed to dog is west-northwest. The dog is a yang metal element animal sign. Its season is autumn, and its principal month is August. The dog is the 9th animal in the Chinese Zodiac. The following information comes from Taoist Astrology, a handbook of authentic Chinese tradition by Suzanne Levitt with Jean Tang. Copyright by Suzanne Levitt and Jean Tang, 1997. I do not own the following content. The dog year. The dog is a very valued animal in China, famous for exceptional loyalty to family and profound aggressiveness with strangers. These behavioral extremes are viewed as manifestations of the Taoist yin and yang. Dog exhibits yin behavior when faithful and devoted, and yang behavior when a fierce guardian. The Chinese myth of Jianku, the celestial red fire dog who chases away evil spirits, indicates how valued dogs were in traditional China. Taoist monks and Chinese nobles developed many breeds, including the Mastiff, the oldest breed of dog in the world, the small Pekingese and Shih Tzu, the sturdy Tibetan Terrier and Spaniel, and the fierce Chinese Shar-Pei, the Lhasa Apso, and also the Chow Chow. Taoist monks bred Chow Chows to chase away evil spirits and fulfill the important role as temple and palace guardians. Royalty bred Chow Chows to protect their property and to hunt. It is a time of fairness and equality. Controversial issues are given their due, revolutions are successful, politics are liberal, and political oppression is opposed. Integrity and honesty are the values that lead to success under the dog's watchful and just influence. The dog's triangle of affinity, the air triangle, also called the protectors of the zodiac. The dog is part of the third triangle of affinity, a group consisting of action-oriented signs who seek to serve humanity, promote universal understanding, and heighten communications. The tiger, horse, and dog, which correlates with the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, are good at establishing personal contacts and developing strong bonds with their fellow human beings. This trio relates well to each other and is basically honest, open, and motivated by idealism. Unorthodox at times, but always honorable in intent, they act more on impulse and tend to heed their inner conscience rather than the dictates of convention. They provide their own counsel and inspire others to action by their high-spirited and aggressive personalities. Extroverted, energetic, and united against adversity and injustice, they will get along fabulously together. The dog will encounter his greatest personality clashes with someone born in the year of the dragon. Anyone whose ascendant is the dragon, born between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., will most likely also come into conflict with the dog native. In the circle of conflict, the dog and dragon are on opposite sides, 180 degrees apart. They will have strong, different opinions and outlooks and have difficulty understanding each other. Unless a dog native is born during the hours of the dragon, or vice versa, there is little these two will have in common. Besides having different personalities and preferences, they will do things that may be counterproductive to each other, perhaps without even meaning to. Unintentional as these actions may be, they tend to produce friction and disputes. They find it hard to relax in each other's company and tend to doubt or question each other's loyalties. It would be advisable for them to work through experienced mediators who are respected by both of them. The dog's season is in the autumn, while the dragon rules the spring. Metal, the dog's fixed element, is detrimental to wood, the fixed element of the dragon. Aside from the most compatible signs, the tiger and horse, and the least compatible, the dragon, the other 9 lunar signs are compatible or incompatible with the dog to varying degrees. Dog personality. In Chinese society, dogs are the favored domestic animals because they are so loyal to their owners. A person born in the year of the dog possesses the admirable qualities of loyalty and integrity. Honest and trustworthy, he makes an excellent friend and will always take your side. He won't hesitate to make sacrifices for people and ideas he believes in. Dog has a strong sense of fair play and honors commitments. Direct and frank, dog does not pay much attention to superficial social details and has little patience for frivolity. Yet he likes to be spontaneous. Dog is hot-blooded and emotional. He prefers to react to, rather than plan for, a situation. Only dog will loyally stand by when others have abandoned a cause. He prefers to live an impeccable life, a life filled with principles and dignity, always willing to be a crusader for a noble ideology. Dog usually needs direction and guidance in the workplace in order to succeed. In general, he is a better follower than leader and performs outstandingly in team situations. Dog makes a good soldier. He possesses excellent instincts and is willing to work hard to achieve success. Responsible and reliable, dog inspires confidence in others by being trustworthy and keeping secrets when necessary. A negative dog trait is a tendency to be judgmental and extreme. Dog can act as if colorblind, only seeing things in black and white. Others are either friend or foe, good or bad, right or wrong. Dog's intelligence and quick wit enables him to jump to the right conclusion quickly. By applying his keen senses, dogs can avoid problems. Dog is very sensitive and compassionate, the type of person who is easily moved to tears during a movie because he is strongly emotional. He especially empathizes with the underdog and is a champion of fairness and equality for all people. Dog can sometimes appear to be loud and thoughtless because he cannot control how he feels. Since dog's actions are so often driven by his emotions rather than by reason, dogs can sometimes plunge into a situation carelessly and thus take unnecessary risks. When dog falls in love, dog falls hard. He is extremely loyal to a partner and would not lightly consider having an affair. Because of this dedication, dog is usually selective in the beginning stage of dating. Once the right person is found, dog is ready to devote the rest of his life to his chosen partner. One born in the year of the dog tends to marry early. Dog child and parent. The dog child is independent, fair, affectionate, and does his best to create harmony in the home and with other siblings. He is protective of other children and acts the role of the oldest, regardless of age, causing the dog to mature more quickly than other children. Life is easier for dogs born in the daytime because nighttime-born dogs may be overly vigilant, alert, and unable to relax. This child will be friendly, happy, and well-balanced. Cheerful and even-tempered, he expects little of others and can accept his parents and friends as they are. Open, confident, and loyal, he will perceive other people's viewpoints with amazing clarity while still maintaining his own convictions and dignity. He will never allow himself to be bullied, and in all probability will put up a hefty fight with the neighborhood tyrant and win the respect of his peers. Sensible and fairly consistent, the young dog will get his schoolwork done without much trouble. He will be reasonable when asked to help around the house and will be protective toward younger family members. Playful and outgoing, he will insist on having a certain degree of independence. But the faithful dog will never stray too far from home. This child will be known and liked for his sense of humor, warmth, and candid ways. When offended, the dog child can turn rebellious, mean, and hypercritical. But his anger flares and subsides relatively quickly, and he returns to his normal equilibrium. He will not keep a grudge for long, and can forgive and forget readily once he feels you have listened to his grievance. When he is negative, the dog is pugnacious, argumentative, caustic, and unbendingly opinionated. He is only liberal and fair-minded if not pushed too far. When he feels he has been taken undue advantage of, the dog will retaliate bitterly and without any compassion. Once he starts to fight, the dog will not be open to discussion or negotiations anymore. It is better never to challenge this tolerant child to the point of no return. The unassuming dog can erupt like a volcano. If the dog child is rejected or unappreciated, he could be lethargic, insensitive, cynical, or plain indifferent to the wishes of his parents. Compliment and encourage him, and this child will flourish and reciprocate lavishly. Basically, he is cooperative, so there is no need to cajole or threaten him in any way. Efficient and diplomatic, the dog will exhibit a lack of prejudice, or at least make a point never to show it. He is inclined to avoid scenes rather than create them. But, with his conscience as his guide, you can be sure he will speak up if his rights are trampled. He hates to be taken advantage of or treated unfairly. It will be safe to give him responsibilities or take him into your confidence even at an early age. The trustworthy dog will not like to be accused of having a loose tongue. He will guard a secret like a sacred trust. To sum it up, the dog will always defend what is his. He will have a high sense of values, and to him, home and family will come first. Dog parent. The dog parent worries about his offspring. He needs to know the child's schedule and can become upset if the child returns home later than expected. Harmony can be maintained if the dog parent learns to trust and not fear the worst. In the role of caregiver, dog is superb. The dog parent relishes parental duties and is very fair in his dealings with children. Similar rules of compatibility apply as for dog relationships. Dog favors tiger, hare, horse, dog, and boar children who appreciate an intelligent, just, and dedicated parent. Dog is fair with rat, serpent, sheep, and monkey children who benefit from dog's guidance. The dog parent may have problems with ox, dragon, and phoenix children who can be very stubborn and temperamental when dog parent lays down the law. The following material comes from the Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes, 7th edition, by Theodora Lau and Laura Lau, published by Harper Books, New York, U.S., copyrighted by the estate of Theodora Lau and Laura Lau Karmakar in 2010. The 11th sign of the lunar cycle, the dog. The dog is often referred to in traditional celestiology texts as the guardian. This is the guardian's song. The martial strains have summoned me to hear your sorrows, to still your pain. I am the protector of justice, equality, my sole friend. My vision is never blurred by cowardice, my soul never chained. Life without honor is life in vain. I am the dog. The dog rules the 2-hour segment of the day between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Persons born during this period are said to have the dog sign as their ascendant and will display many of the characteristics common to this sign and have great affinity for persons born under this sign. Quite possibly, one parent or grandparent will also have been born in the year of the dog. The dog personality. The dog may be the most likable sign in the Chinese horoscope. A person born in the year of the dog is honest, intelligent, and straightforward. He has a deep sense of loyalty and a passion for justice and fair play. A dog native is usually animated and attractive and will exude sex appeal. Generally amiable and unpretentious, he will know how to get along with others and is not too demanding. The egalitarian dog likes to meet others halfway, is always listening to reason, and can be counted on to do his share. If you have a forthright dog for a friend, you know that when you are in trouble, all you have to do is dial DOG. No matter how much he or she complains, scolds, or feigns indifference, the dog person cannot ignore a real call for help. At times, the dog protects the interests of others more avidly than his own. If anyone will bail you out 10 times out of 10, he must be a dog. The dog born sometimes sticks to the object of his affection, no matter how unworthy the person may be. You don't find a dog leaving home just because he discovers that his master or mistress has the proverbial feet of clay. He makes allowances for such frailties and will probably remain loyal through thick and thin. And if he does leave home, well, don't blame him. It must be a truly dismal place indeed. The dog does not desert easily. Like his equally humanitarian friend, the tiger, the dog seldom directs his wrath at someone personally. He will take you to task over a specific act or offense without hating you entirely or forever. His anger is more of a bright flash. It could come without warning and may die just as quickly too. But it will always be a justifiable kind of anger, without malice, without rancor, and without jealousy. When all is said and done and proper reparations have been made, he can bury the hatchet. Not all dogs look for fights. It would be more apt to say that the dog person is a clear-eyed and open-minded observer who aims to preserve the social fabric and guard the interests of the general public. Once in a while, when the dog decides to take up a cause he thinks is right, he will emerge victorious. Fortunately, he is not one to champion bad causes because his ideals and morals are of the highest order. As the symbol of justice, the dog is very serious about his self-imposed responsibilities. Collectively speaking, the dog is not materialistic, nor is he ceremonious. He prefers plain talk. He usually sees right through people's motives anyway, so fancy language merely affects him the wrong way. He is a natural lawyer and will listen to your case objectively, but don't pry into his affairs or he will become secretive and withdrawn. The dog was born with his defense shields up. You'll have to gain his confidence gradually and wait for him to warm up to you. The dog is reputed to be cynical, but this is a callous generalization. Actually, it is more fitting to say that puppies are universally lovable and irresistible, young dogs are frisky and full of life, and only mature or old dogs earn the right to be the die-hard cynics of the Oriental Zodiac. Staunch public defenders and members of the old guard must indeed belong to the elite dog unit, getting bleary-eyed with disillusionment as the years go by, but remaining ever faithful and rallying to the bugle's call. Ranting in disgust about how low our morals have sunk, the dog will still be found pitting his strength against the forces of evil and answering every SOS that comes his way. Even as a young pup, the dog will be able to spot the good guys and the bad guys. He'll want to be one of the good guys, of course. While the lady dog will be the Joan of Arc, he will be the knight in shining armor. The dog, whether he admits it or not, will have an inborn need to divide people into fixed categories. To him, you are either a friend or a foe, a supporter or an opponent. He doesn't allow any mousy grays or other shades of in between. He has to know how to classify you before he can relax in your company. His decision to trust or not trust you is a final one. And if he does suspect you, well, he may not be rude enough to come right out and accuse you without evidence, but you can be sure he will be watching you. However, even snarling, barking mad dogs have a good idea of how the legal system works and won't come after you without a warrant. But when he's onto your scent and picks up your tracks, it will be difficult to shake him off. On the whole, the dog is only violent when he is attacked on his home territory. He will work hard when he has to or wants to. Otherwise, he has a certain lie-by-the-fire kind of laziness. Yet, while he is tolerant and forgiving of his friends, he can be critical of and emotionally cold to people he dislikes. Practical, fearless, and the owner of one very sharp tongue, the dog person is ultra-realistic and outspoken. He will make a good judge because he favors no one, not even himself, in the final analysis. But while the dog will be respected for his integrity, he will be loved for his warmth, charisma, and superb understanding of the human nature. With his astute intelligence and noble character, he makes a good but sometimes reluctant leader. People trust him and hold him in high esteem because of his sense of duty. The dog is an unemotional, although altruistic leader, but he is also prone to bouts of erratic and cantankerous behavior. This may be because he is really an introvert at heart and hates having to function in a social and political arena. The dog does not care much about money, but should he have desperate need for it, no one is better equipped to find it. In many cases, he will be born into a good family. If not, he will elevate himself without shunning his family or hiding his humble origins. While he puts on a bright and cheerful appearance, the dog is by nature a pessimist. He tends to worry incessantly and will expect trouble to be lurking in every corner. But there are times when his predictions come true. Anyway, it would be wise to note that both Orientals and Westerners believe that everyone needs a dog at home to distinguish friend from foe and to warn of when danger approaches. You can trust the dog to hand you the bad news with the good. With his matter-of-fact way, he may even be quite good at breaking sad tidings, especially to the theatrical and over-emotional people. It is not that he enjoys informing people of disaster, but it is against his nature to hedge or to delay the inevitable. He is a definite person, and he has a need to give you a definite answer. As for himself, He can face the hard facts of life even when he is young and untried. When he is in the right, the dog can be obstinate and unbending. It is hard to influence the unprejudiced dog once he makes up his mind. He will cut the opposition's arguments to ribbons with his flawless logic and acid wit. His bad temper and hot criticism can do a lot of damage, but he only resorts to them when he is getting nowhere with diplomacy and formal protests. The dog may be pugnacious and quarrelsome, but he will take his fights into the open and rarely stoops to underhanded methods in order to win. He excels as a military man, lawyer, teacher, judge, doctor, captain of industry, or missionary. He is one person who can carry on revolutionary activities while holding pacifist views. Ethical and moralistic by nature, he will never want to change sides once he has made his choice and will go down with the ship rather than abandon it. The lady dog will be a thoughtful and capable person who will be a simple dresser, preferring casual, serviceable clothing. She will opt for a loose and flowing hairstyle that will frame her expressive face quite dramatically. Dog girls have a warm, enduring beauty. Ava Gardner, Sophia Loren, Bridget Bardot, Jane Fonda, Connie Chung, and Cher are but a few of the glamorous examples of fabulous females born under this sign. She can become very curt, impertinent, and impatient when she is crossed, but on the whole she is unaffected and attentive to the needs of others. Cooperative, unprejudiced, and a very good sport, she will enjoy dancing, swimming, tennis, or any other lively outdoor activity. A real friend to her husband and children, she will allow them enough freedom to express themselves and choose their own futures without being possessive or interfering. Although she exhibits a fairly amiable disposition and has a ready smile for everyone, the dog lady likes to form friendships slowly. You'll have to come over to her house for tea, a good sign of acceptance, and discover each other's qualities leisurely. Compare likes and dislikes. Exchange mutual oaths of loyalty. When their sense of equilibrium is satisfied, you will get the royal stamp of approval. Henceforth, your name is engraved in gold in her little black book under the heading Friend. She has another section for enemies, and when you call upon her, she will come to your rescue wherever she may be. The dog person is never without resources, and even when he does not have direct power, he will wield influence with important or decision-making people through his sound advice and remarkable insight. People lend him their ears, and he champions moderation in all things. Yet the dog-born is the first to see and try to avoid the perils of being at the top of the power game. As a result, he is often criticized for his lack of desire for fame and authority. He keeps his aspirations to himself and is modestly prepared to serve others, if that is his duty, or else be left alone to do whatever pleases him most. Moreover, he is not renowned for his patience and has the tendency to snap at others when irked. It will never be easy for the dog to trust everyone profoundly, as the boar does, but he does his best to bring out the good in his fellow men. Once you have gained his allegiance, he will have complete faith in you and give you his undivided support. Try criticizing someone who is dear to the dog, and you will be in for a very strong rebuttal. And while he will not go out and fall madly in love like the horse or tiger, he will be deeply attached to and affectionate with those he loves. If you are looking for true companionship and fidelity throughout life, you can't go wrong loving a dog. Most people under this sign are tough. They can endure a good deal of stress without cracking up. The dog's stable mind makes him a good counselor, priest, or psychologist. During times of crisis, he can suffer great hardships and deprivation without complaining. He earnestly wishes that the world were a better place to live in, and he will not be afraid to go out and do something about it. Many saints and martyrs were born under the idealistic sign of the dog. A dog who is born at night is reputed to be more aggressive and high-strung than one born during the day. Dogs of all seasons will be well provided for throughout their lives and have need of little. The dog will be most compatible with the horse, the rabbit, and the tiger. He will have no conflict with the rat, snake, monkey, boar, or another dog. The rooster he will have difficulty understanding, but will strive to stake out boundaries and coexist with. The one he will never really get himself to believe in is the overconfident dragon. Neither can he find it pleasant to tolerate the constant complaints of the indulgent sheep. Likewise, the dragon will be enraged when the dog pours cold water over his grand designs, and the sheep will call the dog insensitive. In his life, paradoxically, the dog's happiness may come from worrying about protecting those he loves. Often putting his own wishes on hold, he's always ready to sacrifice himself for the good of others. The dog is a humanitarian deserving of the respect and love of those who know him. The following information comes from Cosmic Astrology, an east-west guide to your internal energy persona by Mantak Chia and William U. Uy, published and copyrighted in 2012 by Destiny Books in Rochester, Vermont, U.S. I do not own the following content. The Year of the Dog. Positive traits: loyalty, duty, constancy, intelligence, heroism, morality, respectability. Shortcomings: tactlessness, uneasiness, criticism, cynicism, self-righteousness, unsociability. Dog people show integrity and a strong moral sense, seeking out justice. Dog is honorable and will speak out about wrongs in the world and demand fairness. Dog people have a strong sense of fair play and are usually straightforward and candid. Dog people are the perfect spokespersons for those who can't or won't speak for themselves. Dog people are the most likely and esteemed component of the family as well as the community. Dog people are protective of family members and are apt to enjoy celebrating the country's Independence Day with family. Loyalty and patriotism are near and dear to the doggy heart. They respect the flag and respond to the national anthem with patriotic zeal. Dog people can keep a confidence. Pessimism can do a dog in. If not checked, dog will emphasize the negative, which feeds anxiety and fear. Certain dog people are prone to not fall asleep easily, but lie in bed stewing in their own juices, gnawing on the bare bones of their concerns. Dog's loyalty, sincerity, and kindness makes for a most desirable friend and comrade. Dog's friends become part of the family as dog extends concern and protection. Dog people are not materialists, but they derive the most pleasure from love and family. Their concern extends to all humanity, and dog people are altruistic by nature. Dog people choose to use material gains to help others. Dog's gentler qualities include the fact that most often dog is slow to anger, yet quick to recover. Unlike rooster, dog is not one to badger and carp. Dog is in control of the emotions. Dog also has fine powers of judgment. Dog chooses the battles thoughtfully. Dog people are easy to get along with on a day-to-day basis and are valued professionally and at play. The dog is generous and compassionate. They use friendly words and give support and advice to friends and family. They are good listeners, always available to offer support to friends in need. It's not unusual for dogs to know a lot about their friends. Often dogs surprise a friend in a happy way with just how much they do know about them. Dogs can be so attentive. Sometimes that attentiveness is way too intense for friends and family. Dog, find the balance of not too much, not too little. Dog people should pay more attention to their own needs. In private, many dog people worry a lot. Dog people get along really well with tiger people and horse people. They are intelligent, alert, and aware. All three really value their freedom and understand and accept that in one another. The positive attributes of dog people are excellent, smart, heroic, and respected for all by their loyalty and devotion to duty. Dog is not particularly drawn to wealth and fame. Dog is much more concerned with the well-being of family and friends. Before setting off on a new venture, dog gets informed and studies up on the subject before leaping into the activity. Dog finds great satisfaction in completing a job well done.